In the time before the Titans, before the gods of Olympus, a great battle was waged.
Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my God of War Ascension Titan difficulty video walkthrough. This is the final section of the game, the Fury Citadel. So a little bit of light puzzling at the beginning, and you're going to be fighting two of the green chicks. And if you watch the fight coming up, which I don't do very well, these green chicks do more damage to me than anything in the Trial of the Archimedes, which just goes to show that, you know, if these things were in one of the waves, might have been a different story. That being said, this enemy is not difficult, it's just you don't fight it all that often, and it is new, so I don't really know it. And I just, you know, it's got a lot of interesting animations where you can take damage and it's not immediately aware that you will. But just isolate them, freeze them, use the clone, evade, block, all that good stuff. All the combat that you've learnt throughout the, you know, the 30-something chapters that have led to this point, or 29 chapters, I should say. And you should be okay, but look at my life. I'm nearly dead, and I honestly don't know how. I just noticed, hang on a second here, I've been beat up while I blinked. So this is an enemy that can really beat you up and can really kill you if you let them. And once again, it doesn't really matter if you take a lot of damage like I just did, because the chests are so plentiful and the checkpoints refill your life, which is really kind. Use the amulet to heal the bridge. It takes a while. If you think it's not working, just commit to it and it's fine. And we're coming up to a boss gauntlet, and it's an interesting boss gauntlet because the checkpoints are quite well. So you're never going to have an issue with the checkpoints, except for perhaps at the end. The end is a slightly longer phase, but it's not all that bad. But just look at this. This looks so good. Like, if you've got your HDMI plugged in, you're playing on 1080, this looks sexy on a good TV. I mean, this entire game has looked great, and just reviews calling it a B-movie. You know, if B-movies looked this good, I would watch more of them. But the only reason to watch a B-movie is to just revel in the shittiness, if it's, you know, gloriously bad. And aside from that, they're generally unwatchable. But I did die on this fight, as you just saw. I was experimenting to see if I could time it out, and it didn't work. I took too much damage. So on the first phase, I'm probably going to use magic to speed it up, because there's the soldiers on the boat, there's the Fury that's got the crazy blue phoenix thing, and I'm just not interested in this fight at all. So the cool thing is, you do not need magic for any part of the boss coming up, so feel free to use it here to just avoid the awkwardness of this fight. And you should have magic for this section if you've got here, because there are plenty of chests before we reach this point, and it just makes it quicker. And she's doing attacks that we've seen before. We know how to dodge. It's just getting in the little tippy-tappy bullshit like I just did then. It takes a while, and the magic speeds it up. So am I actually going to start using magic, or am I just going to continue to tell you to do it because I didn't? Come on, Chris, what are you doing? Just completely unnecessary. I'm trying to divide and conquer, but you'll notice it's just getting me hit. So I slow her down just then. I get the Plume of Prometheus off. I go for magic there, cancelled out of my attacks into magic. That was a stun on her, killed a few soldiers, and that is the end of the first phase when she... Oh no, I tell a lie. She's lost some green orbs, and that's the end of the first phase. My bad. So now you've done that, the rest of this is pretty simple. So this phase here, you're going to be attacking a tentacle. It's going to glow with a weird shield that you need the eyes to get rid of, and then you need to beat it up. As soon as the camera pans to show you the tentacle coming in for a swing, you need to get to the other side of the boat, to your right. Because if you don't, the swings do a lot of damage. So there are the tentacles. Make sure you avoid them, because they do a couple of attacks. I was a little bit close then, because I did this a few times. I did get clipped. But as soon as you see them rearing to attack, that's when it sprays ink. The ink is fine. All you need to do is use the Orcos to get out of it. There is the pan. Get over here where I'm stood, and they will not hit you. As soon as they're finished, go over, start beating it up. And that is this phase. Very simple, but you can die very fast if you get lazy or if you don't evade. So there's a few more attacks. Every so often the boss does mix it up. It will do the punch on the ground, the stabby stabby move that you saw at the beginning, and I think it catches me out with that move because I wasn't expecting it. But it will definitely telegraph, I just didn't see the signs. So I think this is it. Yeah. Oh no, very close though, wasn't it? Really close to catching me because I thought it was done and it wasn't. So just be aware that there are two different formations of attack. That was it just then, and it didn't catch me again. So hopefully you'll have the same performance as me. But that's the ink. You don't have to avoid it. It's just, it delays you from attacking. You have to avoid that. That will hurt plenty. And then go back in, use the eyes, and then beat up the limb. And there it is again. Is this when it catches me? No, I don't know. It might have done. I didn't check my life, but that's the end of this phase. Very simple, not challenging at all. Anybody can do this one. And then you're going to be doing some tentacle sliding and some quick timing events to move on to the next phase of the fight. And I really enjoyed this fight. I actually thought this was going to lead on to being on the ship at the start of God of War 1, where you get attacked by the Kraken. And it's very similar to that. It's just, you know, obviously a lot more epic in scale, even though I do think that Kraken is still, you know, that one moment in gaming when you realise that this is going to be a solid game. Because I can remember watching it at, I think, E3, and I didn't know what kind of game it was, and I watched the video of him fighting the Hydra heads, and it just seemed so cool. And it was big bosses. It reminded me of Castlevania because he had, you know, what looked like a whip, and it was the beginning of a very good franchise. So there's the charge stab. You're going to land after this, and I believe you get a checkpoint. Yeah, there's your checkpoint. This is going to show you the face of the boss. And if you haven't realised at this point, but this is the third sister. So those tentacles that we saw earlier on was one of the sisters of one of the Furies. And I think that's awesomely subtle. I really do. I think it's really good game design, that. To kind of tease this creature that you have no context of, and then to reveal it as a character that you're familiar with. I think that's really good. And that might come from my narrative and my storytelling perspective. I've always enjoyed telling stories, and I enjoy well-told stories. This is just stab him in the head, or stab her in the head, repeat ad nauseum until you rip a giant hole. Always makes me wonder, why didn't he rip the hole at the start and save the stabbing? Has he got a tough scalp? You know, can't really tell. But this is it, guys. There's your checkpoint, and this is what's standing between you and the end of the game. And the first phase is very simple, but the second sister turns up to make it a little bit more complicated, and that's when the hard part starts. So when it glows like this, you need to jump. As soon as it's finished, just attack. Attack with the combos that you've been using, the 4 squares or the square triangle. Build up your rage meter to do damage. This is going to either spike the canvas like that, or it's going to spray ink. So just go wherever they aren't pointing and you will take no damage, and then immediately get back to the boss and start slamming him. If you're quick enough, you can kill this phase very, very swiftly. And if you die on the second phase, which I did a handful of times, you're going to get good at this first phase because there is no checkpoint. So this is the ink, so just go to the side where it's not pointing, dodge the ink, get back to where he comes from, and start swinging. But he's already gone, and here comes the sister. So similar to the last fight where she was being backed up by the other Fury, the big Fury's being backed up by her, and she's going to keep dashing at you and chasing you while the other one tries to slam the tentacles into you. Sounds like something from a Rotsuki Doji, doesn't it? So what you want to do is you want to keep aware where the sister is who's chasing you, and you want to see every opening against the big thing and attack it. If you have magic like I do, you can spam magic. It'll definitely help. You can just be super aggressive. I use the magic there to use the iframes, and I'm going to come out of it and use combos on the boss. Watch the other one. As soon as she starts to attack, I use magic. so that she doesn't hit me. Iframes for days. Keep on attacking. Swing, swing, swing. As soon as she goes to attack, magic. There you go. And it's going to speed this up significantly. And the sister's gone. So now it's just me and the big, fat, dirty, bearded sea monster. So just go back to punishing it. If it rears its face back, it's going to do a double chomp on the platform. And you haven't seen it yet. But this is it. There you go. As long as you stand where I am, you're fine. And as soon as the camera slows, it means that you can attack it. And we've done it, guys. You have beat God of War Ascension on Titan difficulty and got your hard trophy if you did it on hard. And, you know, you overcame the Trial of Archimedes. You've overcome the entire game. And now you get to share your opinion of if you think it was good, if you think it was bad, because you at least gave it a chance. But now there's just a couple of quick times to shatter the boss. I'm not going to show you the ending because it's not my style. You don't get anything for doing Titan, I don't believe. I didn't see anything come up telling me I got something nice. But it sure feels good to beat the game on the hardest difficulty. And, you know, you can say that you've done that. And for me, that's enough because I love God of War and I love beating it at its toughest. So all that you need to do now is hold the triggers to impale. And there you go. Thank you for watching. I hope it's helped. The next guide you're going to be seeing is Gears of War Judgment. And you take care now.